Of La Penta. This is WICR.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Sports Vault. I am your host with the most, Jersey Joe Archino. And the question I'm asking myself this morning, and I'm asking you, is who is the best coach in college football? I've been very vocal about it. I do a lot of work in the college football field. Love it. I mean, I live and breathe it. And I've said all year, I think it's been Urban Meyer for a long time now. Now, it's definitely, there's two that are far and above the rest, Urban Meyer and Nick Saban. But at the end of the day, I've really always felt that Urban Meyer was just a cut above the rest, even Nick Saban. Now, Nick Saban has had as much success as anybody has had, but Urban Meyer, just the way that he's turned programs overnight into contenders. I mean, look at his bowl record. He's 8-2 in major bowl games. Nick Saban 8-8 in those bowl games. That means something right there. Overall, though, when I just look at the two of them and you stack them against each other, the thing that really separates the two of them for me is how Urban was just able to turn over these programs overnight. You look at what he did at Utah. Overnight, turns them into a winner. I mean, his first season there, they're 10-2. Second season, they're 12-0. He goes to Florida. The first season, 9-3. They won the BCS championship his second season at Florida. Ohio State, what does he do his first year there? Undefeated season, finally won a national championship with them this year. You just look at the way he's done it overnight. Saban's a little bit different. At Michigan State, it took him a pretty long time. I mean, his first couple seasons there, 6-6, 6-5, 7-5, 9-2 finally. So it took him more time. Urban Meyer, it just seems so effortless the way he's always just turned these gigantic programs overnight. I mean, and it really shows you when you watch the national championship this year. You watch the playoff, the college football playoff. That game again, the way that Urban Meyer was just able to so effortlessly turn Cardale Jones into the powerhouse that he was. I really don't think there's another coach in the country who could have overcome the loss of Braxton Miller and then J.T. Barrett, who was a Heisman candidate for all intents and purposes, and then won their bowl game, their conference championship game, and then go on and you beat a team like Alabama, who's been so good defensively, and then you beat the best offense in the country in Oregon. I don't think there's another coach in the country who could have done that. But Urban Meyer got it done, and he was rewarded, signed a contract extension yesterday through 2020. He will average about $6.5 million over the next 6 years. And look, I mean, it's a great move. Urban Meyer right now, I think when you look at Ohio State right now, they're going to be my pick to win it all again next year. I really do. When you look at all the big pieces they're bringing back Ezekiel Elliott, who is just a monster, one of the best rushers in the country. You've got a quarterback situation on your hand that people dream to have. I mean, I still think J.T. Barrett gets the starting job just because you look at him. Look, I think Cardale Jones showed you so much good stuff. He's got a killer arm. When he runs, I mean, he's just a tank. He is just not going to go down. He does so many things well. But you look at what J.T. Barrett did there. I mean, it's kind of funny. The first two games, you could see, it was a difficult adjustment for him, but kind of expected. He never expected that he was going to have to start the season the way he did. The first game against Navy was very rough. Then they lose the second game to Virginia Tech. After that, he had 5 straight games with 500 yards of total offense. J.T. Barrett was a guy who was just as good as anybody last year when he was playing. In the game that really, I think, sold you on him was the Michigan State game. The way he so effortlessly just took them apart, whether it was just with the play calling from Tom Herman, it was all came down to the execution from J.T. Barrett, and he was just money. He's going to be he probably will be the Heisman candidate front runner this year. I still think Ohio State wins it all next year, just in terms of all the guys they're bringing back. I just think that they're too good. Urban Meyer has just got this team in such a good position right now. He has been rewarded with this contract extension, like I've always felt. He's the best coach in college football in the country. Nick Saban is there too, but I just think at the end of the day, if you're trying to separate the two of them and decide which one is better, I think it's a pretty clear choice. It's Urban Meyer. I mean, the bowl record of 8-2 against Saban's 8-8 means something. The way he's turned programs into contenders overnight, and it's not just that he turns it around and makes them good, he turns them around and makes them nationally ranked, championship-worthy teams. And that's something in itself that is so hard to do. It's one thing if you're just able to make them better, but I mean, he's turning these programs. When he gets there, they're already a national championship contender, which I still don't understand how he does it. He just has. It all comes down to your philosophy, I think. Urban Meyer and Nick Saban are very different. I mean, they're the same, I think, in their approach, in their preparation, but I think in the way that they conduct themselves, that they kind of their team philosophies are different, and that's something Urban Meyer has that no one else has been able to replicate. And at the end of the day, it's why I have always felt he is the best in the business. But it will be a lot of fun next season, especially when the poll comes out ranking the teams before the season. Because I mean, right now, I don't think anybody is expecting them not to be ranked number one. We loved what we got with the playoff this year, but I just think right now with JT Barrett back, I mean, the only controversy you could think that will happen for Ohio State is the quarterback battle that's going to happen. But I think most people expect it's going to be JT Barrett. I think Urban Meyer's decision will really tell you which one is the better quarterback. I think a lot of us still think like I do, it's JT Barrett, but Cardale Jones showed a lot of good things. He could start for any program in this country with how good he is in his skill set, but it's going to be a lot of fun to see. But Urban Meyer, the best in the business. The morning show, though, coming up. Thank you, everyone, for listening.